Welcome back to Knitting Whatever. I'm Syboné. I'm a textile artist based out of LA and I love to knit. So today I'm going to catch you up on everything I've been up to the last couple months. The last time I checked in was at the end of July and a lot has happened since. So I guess we'll just start from the top. So in August, I started a knitting club. It is called Antisocial Knit Club LA. So that's at antisocialknitclub.la on Instagram. And it's been really cool. So the first meetup was in August and there were about, 15 to 20 people who showed up, which was really cool. From there I was getting a lot of DMs from people who didn't have knitting experience, but who wanted to knit. So as part of the club, I've started to host some workshops. First one I did was a scrunchie workshop, and that was really cool because everybody who came to that workshop at the beginning of September came to the September meetup and were able to hang out, and so that was super cool. And then the second workshop was a beanie workshop, and then the third one was a poncho workshop, which I have to reschedule into this next cohort of workshops. So didn't get to do that one. But we've had 3 meetups so far. So it was August, September, October, November having to reschedule. But yeah, I've been hosting them at a local park here close to my house. I am talking to a couple different local businesses about using their space during the winter to hopefully be able to do some things at night, and like not at a busy park on the weekend during the school year. That can be pretty tough. So yeah, that's Knit Club and it's been going really well. I will be announcing some more workshops for the holiday winter season, and we'll just continue meeting monthly for now. So if you're a knitter in the LA area, or you know somebody who loves to knit in the LA area, let them know about Antisocial Knit Club. Would love to see you there. So yeah. So I did take like a really long break from knitting during this period, despite having also started a knitting club during this time. So from like the end of September to like last week, which would have been, today is November 22nd. So yeah, I took a really long break from knitting, and that is because we got married in October. And I did a lot of paper crafts instead of knitting. So at the end of September, my husband was laid off from his job of 5 years, so it was a really big shock to us. It also came at a particularly sensitive time because we had just started planning into our wedding for the second time, after taking like a 2-year-long break from that process. So as you can imagine, my brain broke, and we were already having an engagement party at the end of October, and so I kind of said, I think we should just get married at this event and just like call it a day, to which my husband was very pleased with. I had wanted a really big wedding, a really big expensive wedding, and so this was the total opposite of that. So we had 45 people in our backyard here in LA, and it was really lovely. It was in our own home. We cleaned for like 2 weeks in preparation, did all my paper crafts. I made, our welcome sign. I made our vow books. I made our guest book. I made like a bunch of stuff, which was really fun for me. All of my photos that I really wanted, that were really important to me. I think my one gripe is that we didn't hire a videographer, and like I wish that we had our epic wedding house party on video, but that's okay. It was very much like lived in the moment, and like I'm cool with that. So yeah, that was October, and that was really crazy. So, you know, we kind of fast and furiously rushed for 3 weeks to get married. And then suddenly it was over, which, you know, I think when people tell you about your wedding or you hear things about your wedding, like, you know, it's all of this work to lead up to one day. Like, I'm really glad that we did it in 3 weeks and that I didn't spend like really like a year and a half like planning into this. So yeah, it was lovely and perfect and beautiful. So that was the wedding. And now we are in November. My work schedule is getting really crazy. This is the part of the year that like it's a marathon through the end of the year for me, the holiday season. So if I don't check in again for a minute, like that's probably why. Last week we had COVID and I had been avoiding knitting up until that time. So having COVID was a really great excuse to get back into knitting. So I picked up this project that I casted on in, I think, September. It started as, I guess it kind of is still the petite knit Olga jacket, except I have not looked at the pattern after I modified it to be a V-neck instead of the regular neck that it calls for. So if I can fix it. So it's just like a slight V. Instead, I don't really love sweaters or like cardigans that like cover the full chest. I like something with like a little bit of open. I feel really constricted, like even in this is my cloud sweater. I'm feeling pretty warm and toasty, so I like a little bit more room. This is also like a really airy fabric, so it's the hedgehog fiber alpaca boucle, striped with either a mohair silk or an alpaca silk blend that has been sitting in my stash for actually 5 years, like fully wound, no label whatsoever, so I have no idea what it is, but it's really pretty and I had enough to hold for a stripe, so that's cool. Okay, gonna keep this super quick before I lose the light, which is in like 10 minutes. So in my return to knitting, I realized that this weekend was the SoCal Fiber Fair. So I actually went to the SoCal Fiber Fair for the first time last year. So this is their 3rd year doing it. And I had a great time. Let's go into what I bought first before I share my gripes. So first I got a sweater's quantity of this, which is the Opus by Walcott Yarns, which is a 70% merino, 30% alpaca in the color key lime pie. So I have a sweater's quantity of this guy. And then next is this 100% bamboo yarn, which is from the color is Cherry Blossom, but the brand is Theodora's Pearls, right? So they're from Colorado actually and came all the way out to California for the Fiber Fair, so that was really cool. And they were telling me that they have like an exclusive supplier of their bamboo, which is really cool, and like they're the only people who can like source it. So that's cool. I'm really excited to knit with that. And then next I got, this is Adara Fiber Arts from Chico, California, hand-dyed yarn. And this is the Adara Surrey Silk, which is 75% Surrey alpaca and 25% silk. So it's this gorgeous orange. The color is Daisies. And then last I got like 5 inks of this, so it's like a black, navy, purple situation. So it's Forbidden Fiber Co. And this is their sock yarn from their holiday palette. So it's called Gluttony Sock. And it is 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. And so this will be a sweater for my husband. He picked this out. We got this from the Altered Stitch. who I met the new owner, crazy. I met the new owner of the Altered Stitch at the SoCal Fiber Fair, and she was so lovely. I believe her name is Vanessa. Don't quote me. She was so nice. She was telling me that she bought the business in like May, right before the yarn crawl here in LA. And I didn't make it that way, so I wouldn't have learned this then. But I thought that was super cool, and she was really lovely and like invited us in with the club and was like, bring your girls. I was like, oh my God. So that was really cool. And so we bought this from her. We bought all 5 hanks that she had for a corn sweater. So that was cool. But anyway, that concludes the yarn haul bit. I see so much content of people who go to these fiber fairs, and I would imagine that it is very different on the East Coast and in the Midwest and literally everywhere that's not Los Angeles. That there's like more farm representation and like more fibers than just like indie hand-dyed yarn, which like, don't get me wrong, like I think it's so cool, but I feel like what I ran into today was that so many vendors like use the same bases, use the same dyes, and are like doing the same thing. So I think, like I was telling my husband afterwards, like it felt like there were only a couple of like indie dyers who had like a serious point of view, where like everyone else was kind of just like creating like primary colors and like neons, and like that was it. Like there wasn't a ton of options. So like I'm just imagining that this is like in LA, California, like not super diverse, and that there aren't a ton of like different fibers happening. Like, yeah, I saw a couple like braids for spinning, and the Spinners Guild was there, and it was like all super awesome. Like, don't get me wrong, I just wish that there had been more of like a variety of vendors, or that like more of a variety of like product colors. I felt like I saw a lot of the same, and so I was not very inspired. Although I was very inspired by, I stopped and talked to the people at the Spinners Guild because I have my busted wheel and I want to get it fixed, and they like invited me in and were like, come, there are tons of people who can help you, and like we can figure it out with you. So that was really cool. But anyway, yeah, in terms of just like yarn that you could buy, like I felt like I saw a lot of the same, and not a lot of, I don't want to say individuality because like that's not right, but like it was repetitive. So that's my gripe, but I still love it. I'll go again next year and I'll buy more shit next year, but I hope to see more like farms and like more people who are vending for like spinners, and yeah, like I went with a pretty open mind. I bought a lot, but yeah, I don't know. What are you doing? The light is leaving. Yeah, anyway, go to the SoCal Fiber Fair. It's cool. Just expect to see a lot of the same. I hope that they continue to expand. They had more vendors this year than they did last year, so that was cool. But yeah, I don't know. Just like felt leaving not super inspired by what I saw, but that's cool. Maybe it's not for that. So anyway, I'm gonna end the video here. I just wanted to check in because it'd been a minute and a lot has happened. So yeah, thanks for watching this 10-minute video. Stay tuned for more Antisocial Knit Club news if you're local to LA. And I hope to be back with another video soon.